Hello, 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 my beautiful queens. Welcome back to another episode of Big Queen Energy, the podcast where we talk about everything that helps you be your best self, helps you raise your vibration and bring your best energy to the table every single day because that's what matters to all of us, right? We just want to live, love, expand, enjoy, and continue to grow on the journey. And so today we're going to talk about one of my favorite tools. Remember, now we are doing quick 10, 15, max 20-minute episodes. I don't think I've talked longer than 20 minutes on any of these, but feel free to hold me to that. If that is inaccurate, I want to hear from you. Because I like these little quick hits. The intention, which is funny, we're actually talking about that today, is just to serve you in that moment with something that you can use to shift your mindset, raise your energy, raise your vibration, and just kind of improve your day, right? Something they're dropping on Monday mornings at 7:30 a.m. And that way it's just a quick hit, a quick tool, a quick piece of information that you can use to have a better day and a better week when it really counts, right? Sometimes Mondays can feel a little tricky. So today, we're going to talk about how your intention is your superpower. And what do I mean by that? Like your superpower in all of life, like in everything, in all that you do. You should be using your intention before you do anything. Before you get the fuck out of your bed, you should be saying to yourself, today is going to be a good day. Okay? Before you go to your workout class, you should be like, I'm going to feel great after. Before I did this podcast, I sat down and I was like, I am going to raise the vibration of the women who hear this episode. So in every moment of every day that we remember, now this isn't a matter of having time because truly this tool takes like no time. It just takes the time it takes for you to think of the intention for that thing. And oftentimes it's already there because you know why you're doing the thing that you're doing, the activity, the event, the meeting, the call, the workout, whatever it is, you know why you're doing it. So it's easy. It takes a split second to reach for that intention and say it out loud if you can, or say it in your head, right? You repeat it once or twice and you get the juices flowing and you really lock that in, lock that feeling and that intention in, and you will feel yourself building energy, cultivating, creating energy on the inside. Okay. So I am so excited about this tool because we've been talking about this a lot in my mastermind. And I also decided too that I am just going to like kind of wing these episodes. You know, we're going real, raw and real this year. Real, raw and real this year. All right, wasn't trying to give you all that alliteration. Just point is like, this podcast is like just my heart. Like I am just laying out the thoughts in my brain, what's on my heart for that week, how I think I can serve you, what tool I want to share. And I want to get away from pre-writing everything. Like I might jot a few words down when I'll like meditate and go on a run and think about what I want to share this week and what's, relates to the other themes of the business and things that have been helping other students of mine. And because if it helps one person, I know it can help 20 or 200 or 2,000 or 2 million, right? That's the goal one day. So bear with me here because it's a little bit of a different format. But I have more fun when I just get to freestyle and flow with you guys like I do in an Instagram video or a TikTok. And so I want to make this podcast as fun for me as possible because I know that if I set the intention to have fun, y'all are going to be having fun, right? So we're just keeping that theme through and through with us today. So what I really want to talk about is that your intention sets the tone for how you experience every moment of life. Here's the thing. Let me start here. If you are not setting an intention, then you are leaving it up to default. Okay. So this is similar to just not deliberately creating, not intentionally manifesting, not knowing your purpose and planning your goals and creating an action plan and building better habits. It's like, then you are just living your life by default. So if you are not setting an intention for every moment of your day, then you're sleepwalking through the day. Like, no offense. It's okay. I used to do it too. And there are days I'm not perfect. I'm just a human living a spiritual experience. And sometimes I forget to set my intention. And then I might be on the default intention of, shit, I'm feeling tired today, right? Maybe you're a little under the weather and that's how you wake up feeling. And if you're not conscientious of that, if you don't consciously shift that energy, shift that story, that mantra that's in your head, then you will experience the rest of your day under this veil of I'm tired today. And that will end up being your default intention. And the meetings that you have, the coffee that you get with your friend, maybe the dinner that you go to, that could end up being the default unless you take the time to actively shift it. Intention is a really incredible tool also to help you manage your relationship with time. I think you guys know this. I coach a mastermind. I know some of you guys listen to Big Queen Energy too. We meet every Monday for the women who've already been through my program, went through it a couple years ago, and are just spiritual queens already on that next level version of themselves and learning, deeper ways to integrate these concepts into their lives and embody them. And one thing we've been really harping on is that using your intention with time creates a better experience always, because a lot of us are New Yorkers or East Coasters or career women, and we're very busy. We have a lot of commitments, maybe mothers too, right? I got a lot of moms in the house. I will be one too one day. And so we have all of these commitments, and we can kind of set the intention to rush through everything if we are not careful. Like, I was rushing to start this podcast, and then I was like, no, she needs an extra 10 minutes. I'm going to give that to myself so that I bring my best energy. Because the things that we do from that place, that black energy, that rushed energy, they're never our best representation. It's not bringing our best self. It's not our highest vibration. And that can be felt by all of those around you, whether that's someone who works for you, someone you are pitching in a meeting, your husband, your boyfriend, maybe you are on a first date. Okay. That is a great segue actually into the main story that I wanted to tell you guys today. And by the way, I just want you to know that I am going to make it a literally mandatory thing that every week on this podcast, we have 3 minutes of story time. Maybe it'll be more, maybe it'll be less, but this is story time. Okay. So I've been dying to tell you guys this because I actually find this just riveting from a manifestation perspective. And, it's these cool moments where it's not like I manifested $1 million last week. It's just these cool moments where you have a thought, it comes to fruition, and you're just reminded of your power. And the longer that you can soak in that experience, that power, and feel that joy, be reminded of the fact that damn girl, you are powerful. You are truly creating the life that you are thinking about. And that is just everything. It gives us all the control back, right? So the more we latch onto that thought and revel in it, the more juice we pull out of it, the more we have the power to create in the future. It's this positive cycle that reinforces a positive thought process in our brain. So I digress. Let me tell you exactly what happened 2 weekends ago. I told you last week about my story of just really weirding out everybody I met at this family wedding. I was distant family at this wedding in Naples. And boy, was that fun, because once again, I had set the intention to have fun, and my subconscious, my higher self found a way. So 2 nights before I left for Naples, my mother called me. We were talking about the itinerary of the weekend. We knew it was going to be busy, but we want to get in some girl time. I love you, K-Pen, if you're listening. She's my girl. And so we were kind of planning Friday after the rehearsal drinks dinner thing. Let's go to the bar at the Ritz and maybe, see if we meet any guys. And we were laughing. I was like, Mom, Naples is super your demo. I think it's highly likely that you could meet somebody. And I was like, but I'm on your train here. I'm with you. I bet I could meet somebody who introduces me to their son. Just flew out of my mouth, off the cuff. Those moments where you're not even really thinking about it. It just pours out of you. So that became the intention for the trip, right? Even though I didn't actively set it the minute that I got in my rental car, it's like, I said it 2 days before. This is what I mean. We are always setting an intention all the time, no matter what. So you can play the game or not play the game, but if you play the game, you always win. So that was Wednesday night. It's now Friday morning. I leave like my apartment. I call an Uber. There were no rental cars. It was like boat show weekend in Miami, so it was a little hectic. I call an Uber. I get up to Sunny Isles, like the only place that had a rental car for me. But I love them up there, so I'll go with it. And I get in. It's like 8:15 in the morning. Okay, they opened 15 minutes ago, and they're like, "Yeah, no, we gave your rental car away." I'm like, "You gave my rental car away in 14 minutes? Like, how is that possible?" And they're like, "It's the boat show." And I'm like, "Okay, I don't get it. I like reserved it. I paid for it." And they're like, "Sit tight, give us an hour. We'll find another rental car." Meanwhile, I'm like, I got to get my mother from the airport. She's on a different coast of the state. Like, I'm not going to be late for that. And I started looking and I was like, I wonder if there's anywhere else that has an available rental car. Turns out there is absolutely not another place in Miami that had an available rental car. So I sit my ass down like anyone else would. I'm like, right, well, just relax and observe the scene in here. Miami never fails to entertain. And so no less than like 3 minutes later, this woman, she got silver hair. She's probably like my mom's age, but she's just dressed to the nines. She's got this like matching set suit, jean suit on. She looked so chic. This big Chanel cuff, this big Chanel bag. She was just like serving looks when she walked in this one rental car place. And I'm like, damn, I noticed her while I was people watching from the corner. She drops off her car and she just walks over and sits next to me and strikes up a conversation with me. 2 seconds later, they look at me and they're like, "Hey, we just got a Jeep back. It's in the class you rented and we're going to get it ready and give it to you." So I'm like, great. So, and she returned it early, right? Everything always works the way it's supposed to work. And we're chatting. I forget, she asked me what I did for some reason. And so I was talking about what I love talking about, manifestation. And we were talking about New York, and she's from DC, another East Coaster. And we just kind of like got into it. And my rental car is ready. She's calling an Uber for the airport. And she's like, "It says it's going to take an hour and my flight's in an hour and 20 minutes out of Fort Lauderdale." And I'm like, "You know what, Boo? My mom's flight just got delayed. Get in the car. I'll drop you on my way to Naples." And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "I got you." So I get back in this woman's rental car that she just dropped off with her, drive her to the airport. By the way, I looked at her phone. Her Uber she asked me to cancel it for her. Her Uber was only 6 minutes away. So I think she just wanted to hang out. She was cool. I wanted to hang out too. And we talked the whole time. Like, I literally missed a turn off the highway because we were like deep in conversation about her life. Very interesting woman, power woman. Boss babe vibes, like developer, has homes all over. She was showing me some villa in Barbados on Instagram. And she gets out of the Uber and she comes back and I'm like, "You got to get on your flight. Like, it's like leaving. You got this big ass bag. You need to check it now." She's like, "I just need to get a photo of you for my son. I want to send him your picture so that you guys can get together when he comes to Miami." I'm like, oh, boom, there it is. I already manifested it and I haven't even gotten to Naples. So no joke. Her son texted me. We connected over Instagram and text message. We booked a date and we were going out tonight. And like, whether or not he is my soulmate truly doesn't matter. It's the power of the fact that I had that thought, that I set that intention to make the most of this weekend where I was going to this wedding as a single older woman with my mother. And I did, right? And so that is just something to revel in. It's these mini manifestations that sometimes are the most exciting, right? So that's an example of something that I intended to happen that did happen because I let the universe guide me. I didn't try to control it by saying, okay, no, like the only way I'm going to do this and meet this person who I need to meet to have them introduce me into the person who is a fit for me is by going to this exact bar at the Ritz. It's like, no, I was just like, whatever, this woman's going to miss her flight, which Anyway, she wasn't going to miss her flight, but I thought she was. And I was like, she's kind of like my mom. My mom would probably want me to drive her. My mom's flight's delayed. I can go from Fort Lauderdale and probably get there right in time to pick my mom up, which is exactly what happened. And like, hey, what if her son is amazing? What if he is my soulmate? I guess we're going to find out tonight. Let's hope that he doesn't listen to Big Queen Energy, because that would be a very awkward first look on this date. So anyway, point being, it's that having this intention helps us create the life we want to create. It really shapes how we experience every moment and every day. And so no matter what, whether you're aware of it or not, you have an intention. So my advice to you is to set it as often as you can. I first started playing with this concept years ago when I found Abraham Hicks. If you don't know who that is, it's channeled by this woman, Esther. It's a complex of spirits. They have tons of free videos on YouTube and books. My favorite is Ask and It Is Given and The Vortex. So you could start with the first one, though, if you are just digging into this law of attraction work. But Esther sometimes says that, she takes 30 seconds every hour to segment intend. I mean, like, I am not going that aggressively with this. However, the days that I do, like, they are in flow. They are juicy. They are aligned. They are easy. They are better than I expected, but they're really just what I expected, but like nothing goes wrong. So it just feels effortless. So give it a shot this week. This is your homework for the week. Maybe I'm just going to give you guys homework this week instead of giving you a mantra, right? Actually, you know what? The mantra is this: my intention is my superpower. Boom. It's that simple, boo. It's the name of the episode. Make this the name of your game. Root this down in your soul. Say this to yourself: my intention is my superpower. My intention is my superpower. Believe it, and you will see it happening in your life, as long as you take those 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds to be intentional. When you have that down moment, when you are getting in the elevator, when you are waiting in line at the grocery store, when you're driving in your car, when you are in meditation in your morning, you could do what Joe Dispenza talks about. You could pre-pave your whole day. I don't do this every day, but the days I do go damn well. Okay? There's so many ways to do this. Trust me, it will benefit you. There are ways to flow Reiki through you to also help with future moments in your day and in your life. So if that is something that you are familiar with and you want to talk more about that, DM me. I'm not going to share that on this episode because it's a little DL for this podcast, but slide into my DMs. I would love to chat Reiki with you if you are also trained or you just want to know more about it. Happy to share about my experience. The last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is that if you guys start doing this every day, every night, let me rephrase this. If you start doing this at the end of every day and build your schedule out, it takes 5 minutes, 10 max for the next day. You're like building in this process of segment intending and setting your intention just by building your schedule out, because you're intending not to rush, because you've planned out. Like, I micro schedule myself. This is something I learned from my dear friend Timo Whelan, that I needed to schedule myself by 15-minute intervals sometimes so that I could take breathing breaks and walks and have time to call a friend or my mother when things got busy. And so when you plan your schedule the night before, like right after work, before you get too tired, because if you're super tired when you're doing this, it's going to be a little wonky for the next day, you are intending for things to flow. You are intending for this to go well. You might even get excited about stuff that you have coming up tomorrow. And guess what? I also get good ideas about how to handle those projects, or things I should bring up in team meetings, or what I can hand off to somebody on my team, right? Because now I know what's coming ahead, what my highest priorities are for tomorrow and when things need to be done. So this is just a great tool. Not everybody I work with listens to me about the power of planning and scheduling, but I'll leave you with this thought: planning is manifesting. All right, my dears, I love you guys so much. Last thing I want to say is that if you want help implementing tools like this into your life and learning to intentionally manifest by reprogramming your subconscious or working to uncover your divine purpose, click the link below, book a strategy session with me. The first one is on me, right? So no risk for you. We're going to have fun in that session. And I just can't wait to serve more of you on your journey to fearless creation. So with that, have an amazing week. Love you.